Hi everyone, welcome back to Creative Networks. What I'll be doing today is talking about Blackberries and smartphones and different ways that they can connect back to your Outlook so that you can get your mail, your contacts, your calendars, all that fun stuff on the go. So let's jump right into it. Let's start by talking about the devices that you can get to connect back to your Exchange server. When I say Exchange server, that's the server which hosts everything you do in Outlook. So that's your mail, your contacts, calendar, memo, tasks, all that fun stuff. So first of all, there's Blackberry. Blackberry is very reliable and probably the most widely used platform out there. They release new devices very often and updates very often, so we like them for that. The price point for getting them connected to Exchange is a little bit more expensive than you would find in other devices. But the features make it worthwhile. The second type of device is going to be your iPhone. iPhone connects to the Exchange server completely free. It's built into Microsoft Exchange, so you don't have to pay anything to get it set up. You can use it out of the box. It's a very nice device. I have lots of clients who use them and they're very reliable. Sometimes the only complaint we hear about them is that they're a little more difficult to type quickly on, but that comes down to user preference. Third type of device is going to be a Windows smartphone. Windows smartphones are really neat devices, but there's not a whole lot of new devices coming out. There's only a few companies who release Windows smartphones, and generally speaking you'll go at least a year or two before you see a new version coming out. They're not updated very often, and I don't recommend them very often because they seem to be a dying breed. The fourth type of phone is going to be a Palm. Palm is split into two categories. There's Palm OS and Windows OS. Really, I won't talk about Palm a whole lot because they are not typically very reliable. We don't suggest them to our clients because we haven't had a lot of success with them in the past. There are some companies who use them, but generally if you do your research you'll find that it's not a great platform. Now I'm going to discuss how you actually get your phone connected back to your Exchange server. So on your iPhones or your smartphones, you'll be using something called ActiveSync. ActiveSync is already installed and enabled on Microsoft Exchange and on your phone. So the setup is really minimal. There's no additional cost other than maybe a half an hour to an hour of time. It works really great, but it only syncs your mail, your contacts, your calendar, your memos, and your notes. So 5 main items. Which is what users are after, but compared to the Blackberry world, it's pretty simplistic. The Blackberry world has something called BES Express. This is for 25 users and under. Over 25 users is a whole different licensing scheme. We won't get into that right now. So for under 25 users, you actually get the license from RIM for the software and a license for one Blackberry for free. This is a great sort of way to get into using this device, this software and this platform. Now every user beyond the first that you add will actually cost you about $130 for a lifetime license. It doesn't matter if you're swapping the users in and out, you just pay for the amount of people you can enable on your server. So it is more expensive, but there's a reason for that expense. Blackberry Exchange server is much more comprehensive. It has a lot of advantages over the Windows world. It actually syncs almost 100 items in your Blackberry to the server versus the 5 that the Windows ActiveSync world does. In the Blackberry world, you're not only going to sync your main 5 Outlook items, you're also going to sync just about everything that is set up in your Blackberry. That's your stored passwords, your alarm clock, your sound profiles, your background image. All of these little customized things that you've changed will actually get backed up. The big advantage to this is that if you replace your Blackberry, then within about 15 minutes in the sync process, you're back to where you were 100%. The only items it doesn't really sync are things like videos and MP3s and pictures. Those are normally stored on the Blackberry on the little SD card. So you'll need to back those up separately or transfer them. Now, another big advantage to the Blackberry is that it's got some extra security features which are great. For instance, if your Blackberry were to get stolen or you lost it, we could log into our server or your server and remotely wipe out that Blackberry. Or if you have an employee that you're letting go, you can stop their access immediately and wipe their BlackBerry out so they don't have any company information. We've had to use this a few times, and it's just a lifesaver. Now, you need to have your own Exchange server, or you need to pay for a hosted service to use these features. So on the hosted side, it's going to cost you about $20 a month to host an iPhone or a smartphone, or $30 a month for a BlackBerry. The reason that it's a little more expensive is that you have to pay an extra license to RIM every month for your user license. This is only if you don't have your own Exchange server and you're paying a third-party company. Now, if you have your own Exchange server, the setup time for the BlackBerry service is about 3 or 4 hours, give or take. And for the smartphones and the iPhones, as I said earlier, it's about an hour. Now, having this service gives you a whole bunch of great features that you can take advantage of back at the office. One of the main ones is shared calendar. So if you were to go onto your BlackBerry and add a calendar appointment, that calendar appointment will show up right away on your Outlook at the office. Or if somebody's sharing your calendar back at the office, for instance, they could add an appointment into your calendar, and within about 10 to 20 seconds, it'll be on your BlackBerry. You can delete emails remotely, manage your contacts remotely. This way you don't end up with one version of contacts at home or at the office and on your BlackBerry. With Microsoft Exchange, it's also possible to connect your Outlook anywhere in the world. So you can take your home computer, put Outlook on it, and have it connected just as if you were at the office, and then all the same rules apply. So it's a phenomenal platform. There's tons of reasons to use it. Just give us a call and we'll be glad to explain more in depth how you get set up and how we can help you. Thank you.